Good evening, folks. We are back with another great matchup, one we've seen before. Every matchup is basically one we've seen before, but doesn't mean they're not good. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a ZVT between our yellow Zerg, Kevin Lee, and our pink Terran bbreed, who is sending out an early SCV. Oh, where is this going? Is this going to be just a scout, or is he going for something cheeky? We do know Kevin likes to rush once in a while, but not doing so this game, at least not just yet. bbreed gonna go for a scout, see that there's no pool going down. So I guess it was just a scout. No proxy racks in this game. And this map, Beckett Industries, this is actually the shortest rush distance map in the current map pool. So it does favor the aggressive player just a little bit. Now, who is going to be the aggressor? Usually it is Kevin, but in other matchups against other Zergs, bbreed himself likes to go for his usual timing attack. And he doesn't usually get to do that against Kevin because Kevin's usually the one running the show, taking the lead, if you will. But we'll see what bbreed decides to do. He can go for some aggression if he chooses. For now, he's going to be getting a Reaper and going to be getting his second command center in the main base just to be a little bit safer. He does need to finish that wall off soon. Reaper gonna start making its way across the map, but queens are on the way, lings are on the way. Not really sure if this Reaper is gonna be able to do too much. And Kevin, his natural's up, starting to drone that up. Reaper hops in, and he spots that the gas is still mining. That's useful information. Now the queen is out, gonna start defending her brood. Reaper gonna have to jump on out of there. Some lings popped out as well, and 6 lings. That's a few more than you would normally see at this stage in this matchup. This Reaper continuing to be annoying. Does get that creep tumor. That is pretty big, actually. Delays the creep spread and forces Kevin to decide if he wants to throw down another one or get the inject down. He does throw down the creep tumor. And now these 6 lings, they do have speed, gonna make their way across the map, see if they can get anything done. And there's actually not much going on over here, but the Reaper went back in, so the lings pull back, and looks like they are gonna get the Reaper. Down it goes, exploding in a blaze of glory. That bought some time for bbreed. Now he's gonna try to land his command center, sieges up the tank. And these lings gonna delay the command center just a little bit. Kevin already has his lair, and he is getting his patented spire. Kevin loves his mutas. And does bbreed have any idea? He only spotted that gas that was still mining, but not too much scouting after that. So bbreed still pretty much in the dark about this. He might have an inkling because Kevin likes to do this a lot. Engineering bay gonna be coming down, and that's gonna give him access to missile turrets, and that's gonna be helpful, very helpful against Mutalisk. He's gonna need to get several of them surrounding his base. Maybe some back here. And that's going to be a pretty hefty investment. But as of now, no missile turrets going down. All he has for anti-air is some Marines. How many does he have exactly? Only 9. And 8 mutas on the way. 2 missile turrets finally getting thrown down. That's a start. But he's going to need a little bit more. The rally points, actually, I think these Marines are actually purposefully positioned here, which could help just a little bit. We do see the mutas, they have arrived, and let's see how much damage they're going to be able to do. Gonna find a couple Marines, might get this siege tank, that's pretty big. Does not get it actually. Nicely done by bbreed, pulling that back to the defense of the missile turret. Marines showing back up, and ooh, this tank. Nope, not gonna get that one either. What about this one? Ooh, does get that tank at the cost of I think 2 mutas. Not sure if that was worth it though. But he has done some damage with the mutas. Some additional mutas on the way. What is a tally at the moment? 5 Marines have gone down, and that siege tank, and a supply depot even. Where did that go down? I think 1 burned down over here. Yeah, that must have been it. And now more mutas have entered the fray. What are they going to be able to do? Going to get another supply depot. That's nice. That's annoying. Marines show up to defend. They're just gonna bounce around, find whatever damage they can do. Ooh, get that building tech lab, I think it was. Maybe it was a reactor. And behind this, Kevin has been free to get his 3rd base. His drone saturation kind of lacking, but it's okay. Ooh, Muta's taking a little bit of fire there from the Marines. And now bbreed looks like he wants to move out. A pretty sizable Marine tank, Marauder, no Marauders, Medevac force. And what does Kevin have? He does have a lot of Banes, no speed just yet, but that is seconds away from finishing. And oh, those Marines, they got massacred. And pretty flawless cleanup there from Kevin. Actually, no, 7 drones went down, so not that flawless. But nicely done nonetheless. Now the mutas gonna have almost free reign. The Marine count has been reset. But the mutas not gonna really attempt too much more. But the banelings. The banelings. That's so many banelings. And what does bbreed have? He does have 2 tanks. Needs to siege this one up. And where is the wall? How do you not have a wall against a Zerg player? And not just any Zerg player, an aggressive Zerg player. That's a huge oversight. Definitely need to fill that wall up. But I guess 2 tanks gonna be enough to push him back for now. Hive is on the way. Kevin floating a lot of minerals. Is this Kevin or is this Timbo? Scan goes down to confirm there is no 4th just yet. Hive is completed. And where is the Ultralisk Cavern? Where is the Hive Tech? There's no Greater Spire, no Ultralisk Cavern, no adrenal glands even. Kind of curious why Kevin chose to go for a Hive. He's floating a ton of money. And what is that gonna be for? bbreed gonna try to move out again. Mutas looked like they wanted to go for a counterattack, but gonna fly back and perhaps help with the defense instead. 12 more Mutas on the way. And there's the Ultralisk Cavern. Only just now starting his upgrades, the 1-1. Meanwhile, bbreed has 1-1 on his. The Mutas do have +1 attack, so that is nice, I guess. But this attack is underway. Mutas not the most useful in a straight-up engagement. However, that is a lot of Mutas. And where are they gonna go? They're gonna go for the tanks. Gets that one very quickly. But they still can't engage the Marines. Not all of them. They're gonna be able to get a few of these stragglers. Gets another tank. Meanwhile, these Marines stimming into the third base. Get swarmed by Lings and Banes, but they do get the third base, which is nice. However, he is gonna lose all of his bio units, all of his tanks, all of his medevacs, and now Kevin gonna be free to roll in for a counter attack if he so chooses, or he can stop in the middle of the map and continue going. All right, here we go. No, maybe not. A little bit of indecisiveness there. Mutas fly in. Gonna be able to pick off the missile turrets. There's so many Mutas. 19 Mutas. That's enough to contest with everything bbreed has. His anti-air, virtually non-existent 9 Marines. That is nothing. And these Mutas gonna win the game for Kevin. This random orbital floating in the middle of nowhere might get picked off as well. And indeed, it's gonna not go down. And Mutas maybe respecting those Marines a little too much. I think he could have taken that. And not even making use of this Ling Bane force out here. But look at the supply. 58 from the Terran player, 121 from the Zerg. Very low worker count from both players. But Kevin in full control of this game and poised to close it out momentarily. Lings and Banes gonna be crashing into that wall. Wasting a ton of them on the Marauders, but it don't even matter. There is just no Terran left. GG gets called. And Kevin is gonna take game numero uno. Welcome back. This is game number 2 between these two players. It's gonna be the yellow Zerg Kevin Lee and the green Terran bbreed. So I think bbreed is always a little scared of what Kevin's gonna throw at him. Maybe he's a little too over defensive, or maybe a little too passive, and then the Mutas or whatever Kevin decides to go for is just a little too impactful. They get a lot of damage done, and bbreed doesn't really get to play the game he wants to play. Going for another scout this game. Gonna spot a relatively standard build once again. Gonna make a loop around the Zerg base and make his way back home. Kevin, he has a lot of rushes in his bag of tricks. Mutas are, of course, one of his favorites, but we all know this man can do Ling rushes, he can do Bane busts, he can do Niduses. So the options are plentiful. How is bbreed gonna deal with this? I think maybe his scouting is not up to par. He didn't spot the mutas in time last game. And he did get his kind of preemptive missile turrets, but they weren't enough. So I think step number one is going to be scouting. Scouting needs to be better. This first Marine gonna come out, try to look for the Overlord, but the Overlord went over here, which is not typically where you see them. You do usually see it perched onto this little spot there, but maybe Kevin is aware of bbreed's tendencies to float his barracks to get vision of that. So, positioning his Overlord here. Doesn't really spot a whole lot, but he can move in a little bit to confirm the expansion later on. And Kevin looks like it's gonna be Bane bust this game. Lots of Lings and more on the way. Bane Ling nest on the way. Gas continuing to be mined. And this might be a quick one. Not too much defenses out of bbreed. Siege tank on the way. That might be a saving grace, but these Lings have already arrived and there's no Terran remaining. Those few Marines got chewed up real fast. This command center gonna have to lift off, and Kevin gonna morph Banes right in his face. Now bbreed is aware of this, so he's going to be able to throw down the bunker. Siege tank has come out and it's going to siege up, get one shot off, but not going to be enough to repel the Zerg army. Now the Lings have run in, they're going to eat that siege tank. I don't think that tastes very good, but Zerglings don't care. SUVs forced to fight. And yeah, they might clean up the Lings, but 11 SCVs have gone down. Door still wide open. bbreed gonna need to plug that up, and he's gonna need to do it soon because more Lings are on their way. But no reaction out of bbreed. Lings continuing to flood in, and GG gets called. Kevin gonna put himself up 2-0. Alright, here we are. Game number 3 already. Kevin spawning in the top right is the yellow Zerg. And the green Terran is bbreed. A quick game number 2 with the Baneling bust out of our Zerg player. And once again, our Terran caught with his pants down. Just did not have the defenses in time. Once again, maybe a scouting issue. He did not go for a Reaper last game, and maybe the Reaper would have given him the heads up. So Kevin mixing things up with his rushes. But once again, be going for a hatchery first into extractor. And spawning pool gonna be coming down any second now. Ba-bam, there it goes. And no scout just yet out of bbreed. Actually, there it goes. But gonna be a little bit later than the last 2 games. Wonder if that's a purposeful choice. First unit being produced out of the barracks gonna be a Marine. And let's see if this Marine is going to be able to find that Overlord. Probably not. So it is floating on this way. Going to be making its way towards the back of the natural once again. And this Marine not going to be able to intercept. Meanwhile, that scouting SCV, he did see the pool. He probably saw it wiggling, so he knows speed is on the way. And he did see gas continuing to be mined, but doesn't see too much else. He's not going to be able to know if it's going to be lings again, or if it's going to be another Muta rush. Behind this, bbreed getting a tech lab on his factory, getting a command center in the high ground, the second barracks, and I think siege tank should be starting up any second for defensive purposes, just in case. And we do see fast layer on the way from Kevin once again, so perhaps mutas again. As we do see gases 2, 3, and 4 getting thrown down. The Marine running out to greet the Zerglings. Nice pullback micro there from Kevin, keeping both lings alive. Getting cutesy with the micro, Kevin. Siege tank on the way. Of course, siege tank not going to be too helpful against mutas, if indeed that's going to be the tech choice. But against these lings, it'll do just fine. Going to be able to get 6 of them. So, good job, Mr. Tank. Now the layer is complete, and down goes the Spire. And it's going to be up to bbreed to scout this. Lings continuing to be annoying. Just gonna spot if and when the command center goes down. And just gonna move out with a handful of Marines and tank. Push those back. But the clock is ticking. bbreed, you are gonna need to figure this out and get some anti-air. 2 engineering bays going down. That's a start. He's gonna need more Marines, maybe some Widow Mines. Ooh, right on cue. Maybe Thors. And definitely wall this up, please. Oh my god, this makes me so anxious. And this one changeling, the imposter. He scouted the frontal area, sees that there's no wall, And now 9 mutas on the way already. Missile turret gonna be coming on down. And another one. I like that positioning. And this sneaky Widow Mine kind of in a random location could actually do a lot. And bbreed actually throwing down a lot of missile turrets. So did he actually scout it? No, this is blind. So maybe good instincts or what have you, but bbreed gonna be pretty prepared this time around. Of course, very hard to not lose anything to mutas, but a few marines, that's an acceptable loss. Not something you want to hear if you are a marine, but in the grand scheme of things, that was a good defense so far. Only a handful of marines went down. And these mutas kind of dead weight at the moment. I mean, yeah, they forced the missile turrets, but they're not really doing a whole lot of anything. And bbreed, you gotta finish this wall. What if some lings ran in right now? As we do see some lings out here. It's not really too much. Probably won't be able to end the game with those, but what if you had more? You gotta finish this wall. Mutas flying in, picking off a marine, but once again, not really going to be able to get too much done. Kevin does have his third base. Nothing mining there just yet. His first and second bases, though, fully saturated, which is nice. Baneling speed on the way. And these mutas just chilling. These zerglings just chilling. Doing a whole lot of nothing. Muta's gonna fly in. Gonna get a supply depot. And another few marines. Does lose one muta. And, ooh, 2 mutas. 3 mutas, actually, in total. So, more minerals lost out of bbreed, but obviously more gas loss out of Kevin. All things considered, pretty even game at the moment. And, ooh, okay, we are starting to get a wall. There is one supply depot here as part of the wall. Okay. Now there are lings morphing into banes now. And, oh god, bbreed, you are gonna need a wall. I can't believe this. I have never met a Terran player who is this comfortable 8 minutes into a game against a Zerg player. He just has no wall. He's like totally content with this right now. And the Banes are ready. Oh my god, Kevin morphing even more Banes. And these mutas, they need to deal with these tanks. Those tanks are going to be the biggest threat to the Banelings. Kevin's going to need to come up with something. I mean, honestly, I think these Banes can just crash into everything and end the game, but maybe, maybe not. Don't know if Kevin wants to take that risk. He perhaps would rather surgically and methodically pick off the tanks. But what's going to be the move here? The Marines move out and they get absolutely swallowed by the sea of Banelings. Now, Kevin using that opportunity to fully dive onto the Terran base. But the tank on the high ground, very strong defensively. And, oh! A lot of softened up SCVs, but only 7 have gone down, which is painful, but not the end of the world just yet. Supply count pretty even, all things considered. Worker count favoring the Zerg. 4th base even for the Zerg. And Looks like he's transitioning into Hydralisk, which is an odd choice. However, he did spot the Thors, and once one or two Thors come out, that pretty much negates any number of Mutalisks. He is still gonna try to get some damage. Gonna get a couple more SCVs, which is always nice, and salvages all his Mutalisks. Big Daddy Thor with 5 kills. Not sure what those kills were. Might have been just lings, might have been some mutas. Resources lost. Definitely favoring the Terran, but he has been mining a lot less as well. And now Hydralisk on the way. Lurker Den on the way. And the infestation pit is ready, but still no hive just yet. Lurkers without their hive upgrades, not the scariest thing in the world. But the Lurker Den has finished now, and ooh, 16 Lurkers get started immediately. And now hive starting. Worker count actually very even. bbreed has fully saturated his 3rd now. Gonna start building his 4th. And let's take a look at the income. It has been favoring Kevin for most of the game. However, it should be evening up now, especially with those few mules that just landed. Upgrades 3 already on the way for Terran infantry. Zerg side of things, only +1 air attack, so huge upgrade advantage for the Terran player, and that might swing the game into his favor. On top of that, we have +2 vehicle weapons on the way. However, Kevin has his 5th base almost complete. He has lurkers, which are very scary and very difficult to deal with. So in terms of army complexity, I definitely give the edge to Kevin. However, in almost every other regards, I'd say bbreed has the edge, as his army supply is actually heavily dwarfing our Zerg player at the moment. But this many lurkers, you can't really walk into that. Thankfully for him, siege tanks do outrange lurkers, so he is gonna have to slowly and carefully move his siege tanks up. So he did send a Marine and a Marauder to die for some reason. 19 more mutas on the way? Holy moly. And Kevin gonna be repositioning some of his lurkers. I thought maybe he wanted to go for a flank. That would have been a little bit crazy. But no, just repositioning it to this ramp over here. And now all these mutas, oh my goodness, 27 mutas. They are gonna go for a counterattack, and there is nothing over here for the Terran player. No missile turrets, no Marines, no Thors, and that's gonna prompt him to walk into a field of lurkers. Oh no, that was not a good move. Perhaps getting a little too antsy there, bbreed. And these mutas, this flock of mutas, gonna be able to dive onto that Thor, no problemo. Second Thor, however, I don't know if they can contest with that one. They do have to disengage. 20 mutas remaining. Now Kevin with a sizable supply advantage. bbreed gonna try to force his way up this way, drops his scan, but eats a ton of lurker spines yet again. And now his army almost non-existent. The rallies over here at the previous siege location still kicking, but they are gonna get chewed up by some spines as well. Sieging still in range, and this last siege tank, oh actually is it not in range anymore? This last siege tank gonna get some damage before it finally goes down. 23 drones actually, at the cost of his entire army. And now Kevin gonna go for the counter attack, and what does bbreed have? Not a whole lot. 2 liberators, which is neat, but they're not gonna be enough to deal with the mutas. Mutas gonna clean those up lickety split. And now nothing but marines and marauders. That is not enough to deal with this many lurkers. He's gonna siege in and try to pounce on these 3, but look how much damage the bio is gonna take. And more lurkers behind it. They're just gonna burrow. And these few marines doing their best against the mutas. They have trimmed down the muta number significantly, however, 11 more on the way. Command center gets taken out real quick. Slow hydras showing up. They're gonna just morph into lurkers. Well, 2 of them actually. And this planetary at risk. And bbreed just doesn't have enough. He doesn't have the correct tech to deal with this. And honestly, how do you deal with lurkers? They are so difficult to deal with. Some marines and marauders moving out, but the mutas are gonna be more than enough to clean those up. Lurkers continuing to chip away at this planetary. Down goes that bioforce over here. And Kevin even going for the offensive hatchery here at one of bbreed's potential bases. These units still continuing to slowly chip away, and okay, finally inching forward a little bit. bbreed tries to jump on it with his marines, but that's not a fight you want to take. Lurkers are way too good. GG gets called, and Kevin gonna take it 3-0. Alright, welcome back to game number 4 now, between our yellow Zerg Kevin Lee and a red Terran bbreed. Kevin currently up 3-0. bbreed has no answer thus far for Kevin's shenanigans. Is he gonna make a stand this game? Put himself on the board? Show the world that He is not Kevin's whipping boy. Kevin once again going for a hatchery first. And Blackburn gonna be the battlefield for this game. One of the weirder maps in the map pool. Both players have access to a gold base, so it'll be interesting to see if either of them goes for that. Of course, it is always a little bit risky. It's further from your main. There's this back area that can easily be abused. And then there are these slow zones in the middle of the map, as well as over here in the back of the base, to prevent, or rather slow, any flying units that choose to go that way. bbreed gonna get a very fast command center, no marines or reapers or anything, and a fast factory behind this. So it looks like he's probably gonna swap this out onto the reactor very quickly. And will he just be going for some kind of Hellion push, or is it gonna be for Widow Mines 2 at a time? We'll have to see. Kevin is getting a very fast second gas. And no additional tech just yet out of our Zerg player. But a second gas, that usually implies roaches. But Kevin kind of... he's always been the one to march to the beat of his own drum. Doesn't really do what is standard necessarily, so we'll have to wait and see. Two Lings being annoying. They do get 2 SCVs for practically free. Free indeed. They get away with their lives. And I'm gonna delay these 2 barracks just a little bit. Now gases 3 and 4 going down as well. Layer starting up. So another fast layer, but slightly different on the timings. I wonder if that means anything, or if it's just gonna be mutas again. No, it looks like Kevin gonna be getting his 3rd at the aforementioned gold base. And bbreed is getting a bunch of Hellions. He has 1 Widow Mine and some more in production. Still only currently on 1 gas. Looks like he's gonna be relying on Widow Mines for now for defense. Kevin, lair has completed and he's going for Spire once again. But bbreed, it looks like he wants to take the lead in this game. He is starting to move out with a handful of Marines, a few Hellions, Widow Mine, and is going to time this with his stim. Stim only halfway done right now. No combat shields on these units either. But this could be the timing he needs. Only 30 workers for the Terran player, and he is just going. Some Hellions getting ahead of themselves. Gonna lose 1 for free. And now bbreed regrouping. Gonna try to push in once again. Spire not ready. These Lings gonna need to make some magic happen. Ooh, some friendly fire out of that Widow Mine, and that might be enough to hold this off. Both armies kind of killing each other at the moment. Nice shot there from that Widow Mine, but no armory means it gets cleaned up after it fires, and now bbreed gonna be forced to retreat from his unsuccessful attack, at least for the moment. More units arriving. Second Widow Mine gonna try to do some damage, only gets 2. Another Widow Mine needs to burrow or get lifted off. Nice pick up there out of bbreed. But now the Lings, oh, that was a money shot. 10 Lings killed by that one Widow Mine. But now the Spire is ready. Kevin has a lot of minerals and a lot of gas. Not going to be going for any mutas, however. Instead opting for 22 Zerglings, getting his hive already. Perhaps this is a flex out of Kevin. He is going for a greater Spire rush, perhaps. We do see these Lings on the defense, I suppose. Gold base is up and running, but only 2 workers mining off of that. Probably want to send some workers to mine over there, so you're getting your money's worth. But now 12 mutas finally in production. Bit late on that, not sure why it was so late. But bbreed going for a second wave attack. This time he has an armory, so Widow Mines are burrowed. Gonna pick off a few mutas as they are rallying. And now all of a sudden bbreed's in an excellent spot. These mutas are essentially dead weight for now because this is too many Marines and Widow Mines for them to really do anything. Perhaps he could try to fly across, get some counter damage done. Couple Overlords free for the picking if bbreed chooses. However, they're gonna fly into the Widow Mines and actually trigger them. Actually, one of them went off on the mutas. The mutas gonna do what they can to trim down the reinforcements. However, bbreed has taken out that gold base as well, and he needs to go. Do not allow Kevin to do this. He gave Kevin time to get some spine crawlers up, get more Lings up, get his Baneling nest up, and now he can't really push in. I mean, it's nice that he was able to take out those 2 bases, and dropping a scan at his own gold. Not sure what that was about. Perhaps he thought Kevin might have taken that base as well. Muta's gonna do what I said before, try to find some counter damage, but missile turrets are ready, so not gonna be able to do a whole lot. And bbreed once again chilling in the middle of nowhere on creep. So Kevin has full vision of this. And that means he can wait for the perfect moment with his Banelings, and Kevin can kind of survey the situation thanks to these creep tumors. bbreed needs to make up his mind. Either fully commit or go home, because he just kind of hangs out here. Sooner or later, speed is going to finish, and he's going to get absolutely swallowed by the Banes and mutas just like that. So Kevin cleans it up. bbreed forced to retreat once again, and there was no follow-up, no plan from bbreed, as we see no third. And wow, that Widow Mine from way downtown gets the shot off on the mutas. It doesn't look like they have their drilling claws upgrade, so mine's burrowing pretty slowly. Now the muta's gonna be very annoying. Just picking off what they can. Marine here and there, supply depot here and there. Might even get this factory if bbreed doesn't react. Get that building missile turret as well, and indeed they are gonna get this factory. Down it goes. Now the momentum has shifted once again to our Zerg players' advantage. For Overlords, they wanted to be mutalists, but they are just big floating sacks. They don't even have speed. Look at how slow they are. But how about the skin? This robotic skin. That's pretty cool, huh? Whoa. Mutalists flying back home, not really sure what they're doing here. Ideally, you want to stay active with them, bounce around, keep the pressure on the Terran player, even if you can't pick anything off. Just continuing to be annoying, that's enough. And now they are going across the map once again, and that Greater Spire starting. I do think this was Kevin's plan all along, going for a Greater Spire, but he did kind of have to react a little bit to bbreed's attack. These mutas going in, gonna be able to dive on the missile turrets, and gets 3 of them. They're gonna have almost free reign of the Terran main base right now. bbreed, he's had enough. He is going for essentially an all-in with these Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs. Corruptor's gonna be pretty much useless in this fight. And bbreed, has he found the perfect timing once again? Mutas come back, and the Lings spawn just in the nick of time. They're gonna be able to help clean this up. And down it goes. And with it, bbreed's hopes of winning this game. Few Marines late to the party, gonna pay the ultimate price. Now bbreed doesn't have too much left. His main base is in shambles. Well, not really, but he did lose a lot previously. Third base trying to get established. What are these? Broodlords, 7 Broodlords morphing into shadows, and that is going to be the nail in the coffin, I think. We don't have any Vikings, Thors, anything like that, and Broodlord's just going to be able to outrange everything that bbreed has. Look at them sending out their babies to do their dirty work, and they just nibble away at the Terran base so quickly. bbreed with the FTGE taps out, and Kevin with the 4-0.